Our next speaker will be Dr. Dominic Johnson. So Dominic received a D.Phil from Oxford in evolutionary biology and a PhD from Geneva in political science. He's currently reader in the Department of Politics and International Relations in the University of Edinburgh. And he's been a lecturer in Harvard and Princeton and a member of the Princeton Society of Fellows. So he works at the intersection of evolutionary biology and international relations, and we're extremely pleased to have him here today to talk about religion as an adaptation for intergroup conflict. And I'm going to offer some general comments afterwards. So, thank you. Welcome.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. So, yes, don't be too misled by this. I did my PhD in Oxford in the Department of Zoology, so my background is very much in evolutionary biology, and I'm now spending my career trying to convince scientific scientists that it's a useful discipline for them to look at as well. Today I'm going to talk about this idea that religion might be an adaptation for intergroup conflict, among other things. So a little bit of context. We have this project on the evolution of religion, which involves 6 interdisciplinary researchers, including Jeff Schloss, who's here. And the basic idea is that if religious beliefs and behaviours promoted survival and reproduction in our ancestral past, then they may have been favoured by natural selection over human evolutionary history. This would mean that religious beliefs and behaviours are adaptive, and that religion evolved as a natural product of Darwinian selection. Most of this project has been focused on cooperation and what religion does to promote cooperation. But one question that remains is, well, what's all this cooperation for? Which is not perhaps so clear and certainly not as well studied. Every day in the morning I walk past this structure, which is Edinburgh Castle, which reminds me that humans aren't always cooperative with each other. So I've become more and more interested in Darwinian perspectives on intergroup conflict as well. And one thing that strikes me, if you look back at the history of religions, is the commonality of links between religion and, very explicitly, with war. This is Ares, the Greek god of war. Here's the Roman god of war, Mars. This is not a phenomenon of antiquity. If you go to older civilizations around the world, you also find gods of war in Mexico, in New Zealand, and in Hawaii, for example. So this suggests to me that there might be something very specific about the connection between religion and conflict. Here's my talk outline. Let's just think about that a little bit. Do all religions have gods of war? Is this a universal trait? I want to unpack my original question about whether religion is an adaptation for intergroup conflict. What does that actually mean? I want to make this point that nasty behaviour can be adaptive, and I think this is something which is lost in the literature sometimes. Then I'll talk a little bit about a hypothesis about religion in the evolutionary history of war. And then more specifically about the mechanisms. What is it about religion that might improve military effectiveness? And by that I mean how good you are at fighting. Some examples of those potential mechanisms. A little case study, which I found quite interesting. And then a little comment about how this might play out in modern war, particularly with the rise of irregular warfare.